Jai to everyone. Now let's move to the second part, and here we will read the another part of this lesson. So let's continue.
You should stand for a culture of excellence. The excellence not by accident. It's a process where an individual continuously strives to better oneself. The performance standards are set by themselves. They work on their dreams with focus and are prepared to take calculated risk and do not get deterred by failures as they move towards their dreams. Then they step up their dreams as they tend to reach the original targets. They strive to work to their potential. In the process, they increase their performance, thereby multiplying further their potential. This is an unending life cycle phenomena, culture of excellence. They are not in competition with anyone else but themselves. That is a culture of excellence. I am sure each one of you will aspire to become a unique with culture of excellence. So there was a great Indian scientist. He was traveling from London 1930s by ship to Calcutta. When he reached Calcutta, it was the evening, around 6 o'clock, the sun was setting. At that time, he looked at the sky, was blue, and sea was blue. The horizon was blue, and sea water was blue. He asked a question, why sea is blue? Why horizon is blue, sky is blue? Of course, he has to work for 2 years. Hard work in Calcutta. Then he got a Nobel Prize for that because it was a backscattering of light. Can you think of a person? Sir C.V. Raman got the Nobel Prize for backscattering of the light. Now, we have this city, very close to this city, created a very famous mathematician. At that time, as a British India, and British India could not locate him because he failed in 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, in those days equivalent intermediate. In every subject except mathematics, he could not further go for higher education. But his education is something beyond. His brain, a genius, he was a genius. And somebody, a British fellow, located this genius in port officer in Madras, and his paper had been sent to Royal Society, and Professor Hardy saw that his paper, then he invited him. He became one of the greatest mathematicians of that century. So this is Srinivasa Ramanujan. So friends, there is another lady, one great lady. She is the only lady she got 2 Nobel Prizes. One for radium discovery, another for physics of material. This lady is Madame Curie, and she lived for radiation. She sacrificed life for radiation because radiation therapy, she tried on that. And so friends, all these people, see 8 names I have given you. All these 8 names, when I tell the event what they have said, what they have done, immediately when I say that the name of the person, you can relate the immediate action. Every one of you. Thomas Alva Edison, immediately you said bulb and electricity. Alexander Graham Bell, telephone. Immediately you said telephone. Telephone, I said Alexander Graham Bell. Backscattering light, immediately you said Sir C.V. Raman. Radium, immediately you can say Madame Curie. So all these people, they are unique people, is it not? Because they are unique, you are remembering. So far, we have studied those who walked into unexplored paths and strive to be a unique and are remembered for their contribution to the humankind. Remember, dear young friends, inventions and discoveries have emanated from creative minds that have been constantly working and imaging the outcome in the mind. With imaging and constant effort, all the forces of the universe work for that inspired mind, thereby leading to invention, discovery.
Yes, he always inspires us. Every child is born with inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figures and authority. I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father, from my mother. I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sisters. He said that A.P.J. Abdul Kalam said that there is every child is born with inherited characteristics. Means we all have our inherited characteristics. Means inherited means which we get from our generation, from the past generation, and this is going on, pass on. So that's why he said that everyone have their some characteristics of with that characteristics we got from our inheritance. And he just he specified the few one things that he said that honesty, self discipline, he got this inherited quality from his father and mother. The faith, and also the faith in goodness, deep kindness, not only him and also by his three brothers and sisters. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramanatha Shastri, Arvindan, and Shivprakashan. All these boys were from Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. Orthodox means strict, which are the particularly strict with their culture. And as a children, none of us ever felt as difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. In fact, Ramanatha Shastri was a son of the Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri and the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. He said that in spite of we are from the different religions, we never feel that, even they never think about that, because there's a no difference, there's a lots of differences between the religious and the upbringing also, but they never felt any differences among themselves. And in fact, the one of his friend, that is Ramadar Shastri, was the son of the highest priest of Rameshwaram temple. In spite of that, they all are live in a very peaceful manner and they never feel the difference among them. And he know that the person, that Ramanatha, which already who just took over the priesthood from the Rameshwaram temple from his father, and the Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shivprakashan became a catering contractor in the southern railways. So during the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam. Kalyanam is a marriage ceremony. Kalyanam ceremony means marriage ceremony. So there was a ceremony, that celebration of the Ram Sita marriage celebration. They always every year they celebrate that, and his family used to arrange boats with a special platform of carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to marriage site, and situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirth, which was the near of the house, and the pond which the ceremony held, that is called the Ram Tirth. And his family used to used to arrange the boat with the platform, that is a platform of the carrying Lord to temple to the marriage site. And the events of the Ramayana from the life of the prophet were the bedtime stories. So those of the content and those of the incident in the Ramayana, that is the bedtime story of his childhood, which is narrated by his mother and the grandmother. And the one day in this that is shows that in spite of he is from the Muslim family, there is a no foundation, that there is a no foundation to teach. They just not only teach him Muslim stories also, or the Hindu stories also. And one day when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to the Ramadas Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. Sacred thread means Janev is that. So he said that when he was in 5th standard and always sitting in the front seat in the so his there is a teacher, new teacher came in the class. He's also from by his cap he looked like a, everybody can know that he is a Muslim. So he just told the and he said the Ramadhan Shastri just next to the Ramadhan Shastri who wore the sacred thread, and the teacher told him, and he couldn't digest that Hindu priest's son sitting just with the Muslim boy. And in accordance with that is of his, our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, the teacher asked to the Kalam that you go and sit in the last bench. And when he shifted to the last seat, his friend is also weeping. And this is the impression lasting ever in his mind, in the Abdul Kalam's mind. Whenever there's an emotional scene which run still in his mind, and its impression still in his mind. And after the school, they went to the home and told their respective parents about the incident. And the Lakshman Shastri summoned the teacher, and the Lakshman Shastri, he called the teacher and among all the them, in the presence of all them, and told him that he should apologize of his action, because he should not spread the poison of social inequality and the communal intolerance in the mind of innocent children. He bluntly speaking in the direct and honest way, even in his offend or upset people, he just told him that he should apologize, otherwise he quit and leave the island. Not only the teacher regretted his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed that ultimately reformed this young teacher. So here he just strong opinion is there, that is he just, in spite of his very strict with his religion, he just told his that teacher that he should not spread this poison. What poison? That social inequality. So everybody, he just not only convey him also, but instead of he communicate with everyone that we should not spread the poison. So on the whole, the small society of the Rameshwaram was very rigid and in the terms of the segregation of the different social groups. However, my science teacher Shiv Bhushmina Iyer thought an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative vibe. Here he said that everybody was very rigid, and there was a everybody have the social differences in the social groups. Their social group means that Brahmin, Vaishnav, Shudra, these are the groups are there, and the separation groups are there. And he just told that my science teacher, who was belonged to the orthodox Brahmin and the conservative vibe, still is, he was something like a rebel. Rebel means the person who just oppose the cult just oppose the thinking goes around or the running around. And he gave his opinion very bluntly and did his best to break the social barriers, and that made people from varying background could mingle easily. He want to break this social barriers. He just want to break these groups so that everybody mingle to each other, mix up to each other, and talk to each other. He used to spend hours with him, with the Kalam, and he said to him that to develop the culture that educate the people like big cities. He just want that everybody should treat it each others like the big cities. They all treated them in a same manner. Like here also we have to treat like that. So one day he invited him for a meal, and his wife horrified that. His wife just strictly against with that Muslim boy came in her kitchen and for a dinner. He refused to serve him. And Shiv Bhushamina Iyer was just perturbed. Perturbed means not the angry, not the upset, neither angry, neither upset, and the but not did show his anger to his wife, but instead he served his own hands and sat beside him for meal. And his wife watched him behind the door. Just like that, the alien come in her home, like how he is eating, how he is drinking, how was he cleaning the floor after the meal. He just look at that. And when he visited, and for that he called him again, for this, because he just felt that the Kalam was feel upset, and he just don't like this kind of culture. So when he the teacher called him again in his house, and when he visited next week, the Subramanya Iyer's wife took me inside. He said that his teacher's wife, took him inside in her kitchen and served food with her hands. And then after that, the Second World War was over, and the freedom of India, and we got the freedom. India was also then become the freedom country. Indians will build their own India, declared by Gandhiji, and the whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Everybody was just filled with the happiness which is not go through, which they never feel, which they never had done, because just after that they feel the freedom, and they feel the hope for the coming good things and cheer for that. Then he asked to his father and asked for the permission of his father to leave Rameshwaram and study to the headquarter of Ramnathpuram. And he told that, Abdul, I know you have to go away to grows. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He just said that yes, he was agree with his opinion that he said that his father said that he agreed that कि Abdul Kalam must have to grow and must have to leave another way to grow himself. And he give the example about the seagull, that seagull also fly one place to another place. It's not because it don't have nest, but in spite of that, it still just fly to one another to all alone. And he also said that his mother also just point out the poem written by the Khalil Gibran, that is from Your Child. Okay, so Your Child, what she is that correlate that here in the Your Child poem, it is written that your child is not your child, and they are the son of daughters of life, and the life longing it's for itself. They come through you, but not you. You may give in them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. So this is written by the Khalil Gibran, and his mother correlate with his life, that you are my son, in spite of you are not mine. You have your own desire, and you have to run to your life, grow in your life with one place to another, and for your own thoughts, with your own thoughts, because he don't want to stop his desire of Abdul Kalam. If they stop, then how will we get a great scientist, a great man among us? So this is the chapter, a great story by A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. So let's have a look his another inspiring words which inspire us allwhere. And whenever we heard, we just I even have a goosebumps when I heard his voice, and I just inspired by him.
It's a big battle. The battle means you don't need to take a gun. The battle means you have to have 4 unique things. 4 unique tools you must have in that battle. One is you have to set the goal. The The second one is acquire the knowledge continuously. And third one, it's a hard work with the devotion. And fourth is perseverance. These are the tools you have to, for the battle you have to wage. As you say in India, where there is righteousness in the heart, where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is harmony, there is an order in the nation. When there is order in the nation, there is peace in the world.
Mr. President Abdul Kalam, in the name of the European Parliament, I want to thank you for this important and inspiring speech. This was one of the most extraordinary speeches we have ever heard. From a statesman, scientist and poet, this is unique. All the best to this great nation, India. All the best to our cooperation between the great nation, India, and the European Union. All the best, Mr. President.